The new Formula One season is just around the corner, and we have some really cool things happening. From some recent news going into prep for the upcoming 2022 season to new cars being announced for it. We have all the new news in today's video. So, what is going on in the Formula One world right now? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we are going to discuss rule changes, new cars, and other things to know ahead of the 2022 Formula One season. First up, we have Formula One Back to the Future. We are now seeing that we are getting some new car designs being used in this next Formula One season. The teams at Formula One have reimagined their iconic design to make them look a little better and seem a bit more futuristic. The aerodynamics of these vehicles have been improved, and they are overall just better cars. The main thing was that the wings, noses, barge boards, and the overall shape of the cars were designed differently to make sure that they are now scaled back and simplified. Instead of having this design for nothing, they are making sure that the overall aesthetics of this car actually help it in a race. Ground effect was a thing used in the late 70s and early 80s and was banned in 1982. This used upside-down wings to give a better boost of aerodynamics. Though they obviously aren't using this technique on the new cars, they are applying the theory behind it in these new designs. What do you think about this? Let us know down in the comments section below. Next up, we have the new McLaren contract for Lando Norris, a $94 million problem for Daniel Ricciardo. It looks like something weird is going on within Formula One, as we now know that Lando Norris has signed a new contract that reportedly runs through the 2025 season. According to insiders, the deal should be worth about $94 million. The weird thing about this is that it is eerily similar to Daniel Ricciardo's deal. Ricciardo seems to have another 2 years on his contract, though we don't know if he finalized his 3-year deal instead. This means that at the earliest, Ricciardo should be available by the end of 2022 for another team to possibly pick him up. The problem right now with Ricciardo is that he needs to keep up with the competition. Over his past few races and the past few seasons, he hasn't done the best. Ricciardo is being compared to other and better performing drivers right now, which means that he needs to perform well in order to stay in the upper leagues. He really needs to show that his skill is still there, because otherwise he might not get on a great team once his deal ends during this year or early next year. Now, Ricciardo has nervous excitement ahead of a second year with McLaren. Ricciardo is back with another season of Formula One under McLaren. He obviously didn't have the best of seasons last season, as he had his ups and downs, highs and lows. He outperformed many in the sport, but he didn't do his best overall. Clearly, he wants to prove to everyone else what he can do and how amazingly he can pull it all off. There's always a nervous excitement around the start of the new season, but that's turned up to 11 when you enter a new era of regulations, Ricciardo said last week at the McLaren car launch. Securing the win in Monza was a real highlight of my career, but that's all in the past now, and I'll be giving it everything to secure more moments like that for the team throughout the 2022 season. Let us know down below what you think of him coming back under McLaren. Are you happy or not? Will he do well this season? We will have to find out. And now we have sprint qualifying has returned, but with some changes. It's looking like we are getting the beloved sprint qualifying back this year, and everyone seems to be super happy about it. This new style was brought in during 2021 and has been announced to make its return this year as well. The sprint qualifying is going to be used 3 times this year and will set the grid for the overall Grand Prix. It consists of the 100-kilometer race. 1/3 of a full Grand Prix will be used to set the grid for the Emilia-Romagna, Austrian, and Sao Paulo Grand Prix. This will be rounds 4, 11, and 22 this season, and the sprint qualifying session will hold more importance with more championship points on offer. The top 8 drivers will score championship points, with the winner receiving 8 points, second receiving 7, and so on. It's great that this is coming back, as people seem to love this style of qualifying. The drivers seem to much prefer it as well. Let us know down in the comments section below what you think about it. And now, on to some other Formula One news. Up next is Williams reveal striking blue 2022 livery for their FW44 Challenger. We are always getting new Formula One car reveals, but as we are about to head into the next Formula One season, we are getting even more. The most recent one that we have received is the Williams vehicle. This one has such a nice and bold blue livery for their new FW44 Challenger. What do you think about this one? Let us know down in the comments section below. Though we have seen this amazing livery, we don't actually know what is inside of this new car. It has some really nice red hints across its body, but we can't tell what is going on underneath its livery. They are taking an approach much like many in Formula One nowadays, not saying anything about their vehicle, apart from it being new and better than before. Looking forward, we want to build on this success, and the FW44 perfectly embodies these ambitions to return to the front of the grid. I look forward to witnessing this progression with Nicholas and Alex at the helm. Latifi added, "I'm a fan of the new livery. Keeping the blue was important, as it's synonymous with Williams racing, but it's a pattern we've not seen before, and the fluorescent red will pop on the track, which I really like. It's a fresh new look to start off the new era of F1. I'm super excited for testing in Barcelona to get back behind the wheel, push, and see what the car can do. Preseason always feels like quite a long time, but it's been really busy, and there's been a nice buildup at the factory with lots of hard work from everyone. This new car looks amazing. Hopefully, it can perform super well with what it has under the hood." And finally, we have F1 testing day 1. Charles Leclerc, Ferrari, start fastest in the morning as 2022 revolution begins. The first day of the Formula One season has technically begun. Whilst a race hasn't happened yet, testing is going on with the new cars. Ferrari recently tested their new cars in the first and fastest morning of the 2022 season. Technically, the season hasn't begun because we haven't seen an actual race, but testing means that things are underway with the creation and preparation for this upcoming 2022 Formula One season. The winter season that Formula One took off had lots of track drama and controversies going on, so getting a good head start on the 2022 season is best for morale and for the company as a whole. The leaderboard is constantly changing for Formula One as better and better times are being created. Leclerc finished the first driving session at the top. According to SkySports.com, his time, a 1:20.165 on medium tires, was around 4 seconds slower than last year's pole time at the Circuit de Catalunya, although the times will certainly ramp up with the new cars not expected to be that far off. Leclerc was 0.3 of a second faster than Lando Norris in the McLaren and fellow Brit George Russell in the Mercedes, with Russell enjoying the morning session before handing over to Lewis Hamilton in the afternoon. Lewis Hamilton has been spotted around over the past few days. Many believe that he wouldn't return after the robbery of his last race during late 2021. Clearly, he wants to come back and finally break that record he was about to break late last year. Hopefully, things all go well for him as he truly deserves the award. This new Formula One season should introduce some really great things to the sport, especially when it comes to a performance for the audience. If a new rivalry would occur, that would also be a great and natural way to keep Formula One going. Red Bull have had most of the attention recently, but as more of the teams show up for season preparation, we should get more news on the races. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully, you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know down in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!